Hi, I'm Ariane, the creative director with StoryMix Media, and today we're going to talk about 5 reasons your business is losing money if you're not on Twitter. Now, I know when I first started going on Twitter, it can be incredibly isolating. You just put a tweet out there and nobody responds. You're not quite sure who to follow and why nobody's following you. It can be very isolating. And a lot of people tend to get on there and just make the mistake of tweeting incessantly about their own stuff. And pretty much it's going to stay isolating that way. No one's, it'll be unlikely that somebody will follow you at that point. So here's some reasons why to get on Twitter, what you can get out of it, and well, basically why you would be losing money if you're not there. So the first thing you want to do with Twitter is realize that it can actually save you time and money. The way in which it can save you time is microblogging, which I thought was a very stupid term when I first heard it. But that is providing some updates to your followers, both from your blog, that's the obvious one, but also about you, about your business, and so people can get to know you on a more personal level, and really your potential clients can connect with you. Let's see, and I'll show you an example of this. Let's see. Okay, on my Hootsuite, you definitely want to get Hootsuite. That's the one I recommend because you can organize Twitter quite a bit using it and create these lists. So when I say about microblogging, let's see, so here's my sent tweets, and you can see I tweeted about our broadcast tonight, but what I had for dinner and so a little bit about my own personality, but also blogging. You can see this one where I blogged Offbeat Bride, or I tweeted about Offbeat Bride, talked about making a voiceover today, and then mix that in with a little bit about your own business. So, Real Wedding Alert. Check out Laurie and Doug's beautiful Myrtle Beach wedding. So there we have a little bit, and if anybody on Twitter happens to be searching for Real Wedding, this will come up in their search. So this is microblogging. It's little tiny mini posts about you, about your business, and letting people know what's going on. Okay, the next reason Twitter can actually save you money, the reason that is microblogging is saving you money is it would be very hard. We have almost 3,000 followers. It would be very hard for me to talk to 3,000 people and let them know what's going on with me or tell them I had a new blog post without using Twitter. So it's very efficient for that. The next one is lists. So Twitter lists can help you keep track of everyone you want to follow. So I will show you some lists. So I have like all of our StoryMix affiliates that I know have Twitter. I'm following them here. If they put something interesting up, I don't have to go to all of their blogs. Here are some, I'm following some wedding pros. Anybody, instead of me actually going to Green Wedding Shoes or Wedding Chicks or Broke Ass Bride every day and checking out what's on their blog, I can see whether it's a topic that would interest me and use the list kind of like a Google Reader and just check all the blogs at once because they are microblogging, and I'll see what holds interest. But I can use a list to keep it separated into different groups and then decide who I want to visit. Let's see. And the next one is cross promotion. The next reason Twitter can actually save you money. So you're going to save time if there's a list of other blogs or other wedding vendors I want to help promote, and they might do the same for me. So I can see I have them on a list. So here I have StoryMix affiliates, and I'm going to retweet their stuff as often as it's interesting to our 3,000 followers, and let them know, hey, I read an interesting blog post on Scent Weddings, and I know that's not your full name, but that's what it is in Twitter. So, DJ Tassos had something interesting to say. So I'll retweet their information, and hopefully they'll do the same for me, and it's just cross promotion. So their followers will know about StoryMix, and our followers will know about their services. And the other thing that's good with this, as far as cross promotion, is you tweet each other. And what that means is you actually have a conversation with each other. So, and these would be in the mentions. Like I tweeted Holly. She was one of our brides, and she is now actually a wedding vendor with Toast and Jam. I'm sorry, with Jam and Toast. And so I tweet Holly quite a bit. And so these are conversations. This is when Twitter stops being isolating, because I follow Holly on the StoryMix affiliates, and if she said something interesting, I'll tweet her, and we have a conversation back and forth. So this is a way of getting your name out there, so all of Holly's followers see StoryMix, and all of our followers see Holly. Okay, the number 2 reason, this is a biggie, you're absolutely losing money if you're not on Twitter, is how else would you go about meeting somebody famous? You're not going to call them, even if you did somehow have their phone number. They wouldn't answer your call, and they most likely, unless you are really good at crafting an email, are not going to be able to get them to answer your email. And yet, if you're following somebody, when I say famous, I'm not talking about like J-Lo. I'm talking about somebody in your industry who's an influencer. So let's say like Alan Berg, or somebody who has a big name. If you're following them on Twitter, you can actually start a conversation with them and comment on something that they did, and do this pretty frequently, and they'll get to know who you are, and their followers again will see that you're having conversation with them, and again it just increases your visibility in places you would never have the opportunity to otherwise. So to give you a personal example, when we first started StoryMix, there were some technical hurdles I had in creating the back-end editing system. So using Twitter, I reached out to people who had designed QuickTime 20 and 30 years ago all across the world. And I was able to do this and find out who they were using Twitter and actually connect with them. Again, even if you try to message somebody on Facebook, you're not necessarily going to be able to get in touch with them. Whereas with Twitter, if you're commenting directly on something they said, like in Hootsuite, it'll show a conversation. It'll show that you're commenting on a specific thing that they said. And it's more like a real conversation. So Twitter's really good for that, and there isn't really a gatekeeper. Of course they can ignore you, but there isn't really a gatekeeper on here like there's usually no secretary checking all the messages or anything like that. It's usually the real person. So Twitter is fantastic for getting in touch with people you would never have access to otherwise. Okay, and the number 1 reason, absolute number 1 reason your business is losing money if you're not on Twitter is customer service. Perfect example is Comcast. They were the leaders in using Twitter as a way of conducting customer service. So if you use the hashtag, and that's the little number sign, let's see if there's an example in here. Okay, here, like Brittany used a hashtag for a hashtag business mixer down here. But if you use the hashtag Comcast fails or Comcast sucks, Comcast follows that, and they will tweet you. They follow whoever writes that, and you can actually tweet at Comcast, and they will get back to you generally within a few minutes and find out what's going on, why you don't like their service, and try and correct it. I've had times I did a test where I waited on hold with their customer service for an hour, and in that time, through Twitter, they had a manager call me on my other line, and I was still waiting on hold on the phone on my other line. I mean, it's just, Twitter is much quicker for customer service. And the reason you want to use it that way for your business is if one of your clients has an issue with what you're doing, be it legitimate or not, they're going to tell everyone they know. So, and them telling everyone on Twitter can be a lot of people, especially if it's retweeted. And they'll usually do an @ sign and mention it to you as well, so you know that they were unhappy. Or you can even just do a search on your name, so you can see when somebody's talking about you on Twitter. And you want to nip it in the bud. You want to address it, tell them you appreciate them letting you know, or making you aware of the situation, just like Comcast does. I mean, they're a great company to follow on this. A lot of people aren't happy with Comcast, but their Twitter customer service is fantastic. You want to know immediately when somebody says something negative about your business, so you can address it. And the best thing you can do is address it publicly and take care of it. That's one thing Twitter's good for, both as a customer and as a business owner. And I would love to do some polls or some other interactive things, but that's not going to work out for tonight. So we'll just make this one a very quick broadcast. I will go ahead and post this on our Pro blog as well, and it'll be recorded on the fan page as well. Thanks very much for tuning in.